Factsverse presents Theories that prove time travel exists. Number 1. Swiss watch found in an ancient Chinese tomb. When Chinese archaeologists found a giant coffin in a 400-year-old tomb in Shanxi County in December 2008, they found something they couldn't believe. Inside was a Swiss engraved watch that had stopped at 10:06. Since these watches weren't in existence 400 years ago, it led many people to believe that someone had time-traveled from the future to the day that the tomb was closed up and put the watch inside. Others believe that the watch was digitally added to the photo to try to prove that time travel is indeed possible. Regardless of the difference of opinions, this photo has turned up on several websites that try to prove that time travel is possible. Number 2. The Time-Traveling Man. This is a photo that has appeared on the Virtual Museum of Canada's website. It's a photo of the reopening of the South Fork Bridge in British Columbia in the early 1940s. Upon first glance, everything looks normal for a picture in the 40s. When you look closer, you see a man in the back row who doesn't seem to fit in. All of the men in the photo are wearing hats, which was common for men back then. This man is not wearing a hat. He's dressed like a man would dress today. He has long, messy hair, which is today's style for many men. He's also wearing sunglasses that you wouldn't have seen people wearing back then, along with a t-shirt with a printed logo. This picture has led many people to believe that this man is a time traveler who went back in time to witness this moment himself. Number 3. Woman on a cell phone in 1928. Everyone knows that the cell phone was not around in 1928. They didn't even have cordless phones back then. This photo was taken when Charlie Chaplin's film The Circus was released at Los Angeles' Grauman's Chinese Theater in 1928. In one of the photos, you can see a woman who appears to be talking on a cell phone. Most people believe that since cell phones didn't exist at that time, this is proof that time travel is possible, and this woman went back in time to see the premiere of the movie. Time travel skeptics believe that the woman was actually holding a portable hearing aid. Back then, the technology was not what it is today, and ear trumpets were used to help the hard of hearing to hear better. True time travel believers, they don't agree with the hearing aid theory, though. Number 4. A woman on a cell phone in 1938. Here's another photo of a woman holding a cell phone during a time when cell phones did not yet exist. It's a black-and-white photo of a group of women walking out of a building. One of the women is smiling, and it appears she's talking on a cell phone. Well, this has given true believers even more of a reason to believe in time travel. One woman who doesn't believe in time travel has an explanation for the photo, though. She says that the woman is her grandmother, who was 17 years old at the time and working for DuPont. According to the woman, the factory was experimenting with wireless phones, and the woman was given one for a week to test out. There are many people who don't believe this story, though, since it's hard to believe that wireless phones were being tested as far back as 1938. Number 5. CDs in the 1800s. This is a painting from the 1800s. The painting shows a man taking a CD out of a box. While since CDs weren't in use until the 1980s, many people believe that the man in this photo traveled to the 1800s from the future to show off his amazing invention. Since there's always someone out there who's trying to debunk time travel, there is an explanation for this photo too. The non-believers say this is just a typical box with a glass cover. Since the top of the box is resting on the man's chest, this theory could very possibly be wrong. Number 6. Time-traveling celebrities. John Travolta and Nicolas Cage starred together in the hit film Face Off. It also appears that the two men have traveled back in time to have their photos taken. In 2011, a few pictures from the 1800s were put on sale on eBay. Both of the men in the photos look identical to Travolta and Cage. Many people believe that the seller had the photos altered to get some attention and to possibly raise the price. According to the seller, this was the condition he found the pictures in. People who believe in time travel are sure that the two men went back in time after filming Face Off to get their photo taken, only to have them turn up today. Number 7. An astronaut sculpture on an old church. This is a sculpture that is on the top of a church that was built between 1600 and 1800. The sculpture looks like a man wearing an astronaut suit. Since space travel didn't exist between 1600 and 1800, it's proof that one of the people building the church was from the future and created this sculpture. People who don't believe in time travel say that one of the designers must have had a wild imagination and often thought about time travel. If that's the case, it really is a coincidence because the suit on the sculpture very closely resembles the spacesuits of today. Number 8. The time-traveling investor. In November 2014, an investor named Andrew Carlson was arrested for insider trading. What made this man strange is that he claimed to be a time traveler who came back from the year 2256. During a 2-week period, he invested $800 and was able to make $350 million. Many people believe that it was insider trading because nobody is that lucky, and the man was arrested. When it came time for him to go to court, he vanished. Many people believed that he was a time traveler and that it was the only way that he could have had the information to make all that money after investing such a small amount. They also believe that he went back to the year 2256 to avoid prosecution. Number 9. Photographing Marilyn Monroe with an iPhone. This is a photo taken of Marilyn Monroe leaving a ladies' room. If you look in the background, you can see a woman trying to take a photo of Marilyn herself. What makes the photo so crazy is that the woman is holding a device that didn't even exist back then. It looks like an iPhone. People who believe in time travel believe that this woman went back in time to get this photo and she took her iPhone with her. Number 10. The Philadelphia Experiment. In 1943, the military conducted an experiment called the Philadelphia Experiment. The reason for the experiment was to try to make the USS Eldridge invisible to the enemy's radar. According to the crew on land, the ship did disappear for about 10 seconds. According to the men on the ship did disappear and it traveled in time. Each of the men on the boat had the same story about what they saw during the seconds that they traveled in time, and all of their stories matched up. Number 11. The LHC. One of the most complex pieces of machinery made by man is the LHC. It has a circumference of 17 miles and it goes over 500 feet into the ground. It's also the most powerful atom smasher that has ever been created. When activated, the machine can create a black hole. It's believed that the black hole that the machine creates is also a porthole for time travel. Number 12. The Time-Traveling Man Number 2. This is a famous photo taken during Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address in 1863. The man standing at center left is named Bossaggio. If you look closely, you'll see that he's not wearing any shoes. At the time, he claimed that he traveled back in time from 1970s New Jersey. He says that he didn't have any shoes on because he lost them during his travel through time. Number 13. The Cape Scott Story. There are many theories that prove time travel exists. This is one of the most believable ones. When you look at this photo, there is one man who is completely out of place. He's sitting on the rocks wearing a t-shirt, shorts, and he has long hair like many men have today. The people around him, though, are all wearing typical clothes for when the photo was taken in 1917. Nobody knows who this man is or why he was dressed this way. The photo was published in the book The Cape Scott Story, and many people believe that this is proof that time travel actually exists. Number 14. Matt Damon went back in time. A woman found an old picture of her parents at their wedding. Her father looks exactly like Matt Damon. If you look at the actual photo of Matt, the two men are identical. Either Matt has a doppelganger or he traveled back in time to marry this woman's mother. There are some people believing that he travels back and forth through time and he is living a double life. Other people think the men just happen to look similar. Subscribe for more.